Good afternoon. Albert Hartman out here on the Beneva roadside near Sarasota Square Mall. I found this other item from years ago, from 2013. I was reminded of an incident of, I think it was yesterday, the day before yesterday. I was walking, heading back south here along Beneva, when one of the young men who alleges being with the Marines. Honestly, I wouldn't have ever wanted to talk back at anyone being loyal, but all I ever hear about is something of a hazing, and they insist that they started from the operations earlier in life. So anyway, I'm not wanting to bother anyone about it, but just to mention something else that they're about is that as I walked past, I forgot that there was a small dead possum on the side of the road. So I held my breath and walked on past. But anyway, as I continued, there was a bit of a whiff of the smell rot in the air. So anyway, immediately one of the same guys that loudly, everyone hears him, loudly pounces saying the Marine argument, is saying that he would want me to get used to having to be smelling the smell of rotted people all around. So anyway, I'm really just for everyone being safe, and I'm attaching this other brief item from 2013 to remind that there had been similar concern previously. Actually, it's an incident of a man alleging being my father, whom allegedly died back in early 1967. It's really very irritating subject that I think is really bothersome to some people, but it's a fact. So anyway, I researched a little bit pertaining to Albert Hartman when I started to learn that he was actually very malicious and sometimes in the local area. And I remembered that when I was a kid that his funeral had been to Miami Memorial Gardens near the Palmetto Expressway in Miami, that I was to the graveside ceremony. But some years ago, I guess it was probably 5 or 6 years ago, when I checked the cemetery's website, that he isn't listed on it. And there are a lot of other details that I've turned into police and Department of Justice and others, but he's a very, very egotistical man and maybe very bad, and so I mentioned again. As a matter of fact, back in early 1994, a man who looked just like him was with an Al's Tree Service chipper, and he looked to me very maliciously, pointing towards the intake of the machine. And so, he isn't a man that I'm favoring in any way, and hopefully he's going to end up being in trouble. Yesterday, after allegation that he had recently died, a couple of the usual same very, very irritating gays that harasses at me from traffic broadcasting started their Al's accusation again. All from the allegation that he'd done something into me when I was a kid, and then when he staged his death, he was secretly subverting through all the years after. I hope everyone's going to have a good evening. Thanks for your consideration.